successful you've ever experienced as a coach?
Disappointment. You know, we didn't get it done, and really at every spot we didn't get it done. So very disappointed. And obviously, as coaches, we're disappointed. Our players are the most disappointed people there are. We didn't get it done, and that's not good.
They kind of try to take the deep ball away from you, play over the top a little bit, make you throw underneath.
Yeah, I mean, they had a good plan, but it wasn't. You know, Jeremy does a great job there. He's one of the best in the business. But at the end of the day, they just, you know, they kicked our tail, and that's just the reality of it. There's no really way to sugarcoat it or be effective about it. We didn't get it done, and they beat us.
Did something change? You look obviously very sharp on your first possession. Did they change what they did, or did something change?
Not really. Obviously, the first drive was a good drive. You know, 10-play drive. We had 3 good third down conversions in the drive, and finished it with a nice long run. You know, so at that point, you'd like to think we were going to play pretty well. And you know, we didn't get hardly any explosive plays, and so that made it hard to ever get any tempo or rhythm going. So you always felt like we were fighting for everything we could get because we just didn't get any explosive plays. They did a good job of limiting that, and the ones we did get, you know, we hurt ourselves, and they came back with holding penalties. So, you know, that was a big negative. And then, you know, when we had our opportunities, we didn't make the most of it. We had some, you know, we go into halftime down 17-7, come back out and have a pretty good idea of what they're doing, obviously. And, you know, we dropped the first 2 balls. That would have been big explosive plays, and then Nick scrambles for a big first down and comes back from holding penalty, and it's just kind of how it went.
I guess when you were having some of those kind of offensive line issues, you know, this late in the season, how do you kind of correct some of that at this point?
Well, you know, I'd like to think we still lead the league in rushing, and we've been running the ball pretty well. Last night, they just whipped us. We didn't get it done. And so, obviously, we got to get that fixed this week.
Are any positions open right now?
I mean, positions are always open. You're always going to play the best guy, and there's a fine line between people wanting them to be comfortable starters, and then, you know, they get too comfortable. But you know, we're 10 games into the season. We know who we have. We know what our options are, and it's just going to be a matter of us as players and coaches manning up and performing better this week. And that's what, you know, we all aim to do.
At left tackle in particular, Sean has struggled against Preston Smith, against Myles Garrett. Last night, 2 of those holding calls. Can you say right now that he'll be starting this week and in the future?
Well, what I can say is that Sean did not play very well last night, and he knows that, especially in the pass protection. And no one cares more about that than Sean. You know, he feels as badly about that as anybody. He got beat a couple times and held, and it brought back some, you know, some big plays. But you know, we still got a lot of confidence in Sean and his upside and his ability. But the last 2 weeks, you know, he struggled a bit in pass protection, and that's obviously going to be something he works hard on.
Who specifically do you look to on the offense to lead the team at times like this?
Well, I think you look at your seniors and your pivotal positions. You know, you look at Nick at quarterback, Reese at center. Those are the first 2 that come to mind. You know, someone like a Cameron Artis-Payne's not going to say a lot, but I thought his play spoke fine. He played hard, played well. You know, a guy like CJ is a senior. You look to all your older guys, your guys that have been there, even some of our juniors that have been there. But it's just as a collective whole, as a group, those guys got to bounce back. You know, we haven't had a game like this, you know, where we just got beat soundly, and it happened at a really, obviously, bad time. And so you're going to learn a lot about our guys, learn about us. When adversity strikes and you don't play well, it's not easy to pick yourself up and get better. And but that's what I fully believe our guys will do.
You guys went into kind of 2-minute mode there. Did you think about doing that a little earlier just to get a little energy going?
Yeah, you know, I mean, you're going at halftime, and Cameron had 75 yards rushing, and you know, I think we scored on the first drive, and then we got the second one, and we stalled out around midfield, and then you know, our options were, we didn't have as many drives in the first half, and then, you know, 2 minutes into half, we come out of halftime thinking, okay, we can take some advantage of some things in the passing game to kind of get some tempo going, and you know, we just didn't make the plays. So, you know, and then a couple times we got some things rolling, and we got down and we stalled in the red zone, and another time a penalty hurt us, and you know, we didn't finish, and we just didn't play well.
Rhett, did you see the same, I guess, confidence that you normally see? That hey, this is not too much. We can come back and from this.
You know, I never felt like our guys quit or gave up. You know, obviously when you're down 24-7, and I think at that point, human nature, coming off the disappointing loss the week before, weighs in on that a little bit. But I thought our guys kept fighting. We just didn't make any plays, bottom line. And we didn't make any plays. They made the plays, and they beat us. And there's no excuses to be made. They beat us, plain and simple.
Rhett, in a 2-week span to go from in that top 4 and in the playoff picture to being out of the West race and in this position in 2 weeks, what is the toll on the coaching staff? The players have said their reaction. What is the toll on the coaching staff to go from that point to this point in 2 weeks?
Well, it's disappointing, but that's the way this thing works in life and athletics and sporting. And like I said, we're going to find out a lot about what we're made about and how we respond. It's very disappointing. Last week was very disappointing. This week's very disappointing. And it's all about how you respond. And as coaches, we got to respond well if we want our players to respond well. And we still got plenty to play for. We got a lot of opportunities. Win number 8 this week being one of them. And then there's other things after that down the road that are important. So, like I said, this is a group that has won, 19 games in less than 2 years. So they know how to win. It's just a matter of, playing a good game, getting a win, and getting that good feeling back.
Right.
Is this a sentimental week for you? Just going up against Samford?
I don't know about sentimental. I have so much respect for Coach Sullivan. He obviously gave me my first full-time opportunity, instilled a lot of confidence in me, believed in me, gave me opportunities that I'll never be able to show my appreciation for. He's a great man. Obviously, he's a great Auburn man. And so I'm excited. I think this was his 4th straight winning season. And, he's a winningest coach at Samford. He's done so much there. He impacts so many lives, not just his players, but everyone he comes in contact with. I've never met a more positive person who really he instills that confidence and positiveness in everybody he comes in contact with. And then that whole coaching staff. You look on defense, Billy D's is as good a defensive coordinator as you're going to find. I think they're 2nd in 1AA against the pass, and they're way up there in total defense. They've done a great job. And they got a lot of assistants there that I got a lot of respect for. So, it's good to see friends. It's not always fun to play against them, but they've done a really good job again this year. And like I said, I know it's always neat when Coach Sullivan gets to come back to Auburn.
Right. You've struggled a little bit especially last few weeks, to develop any pace at all. Do you feel many of the drives have been really long, 12 and 13 play drives? Have y'all gotten away from some of that hurry up a little bit?
I thought our pace against A&M was really good. We did have some long drives, but I thought our tempo and pace that we ran, don't quote me, we ran a lot of plays in that game, and we had good tempo, and short of us finishing, we had good tempo in that game. We didn't get any tempo going last night, and give Georgia a lot of credit for that.
How often do you speak to Cody out down at Samford? Where do you think he's going to be 5 years from now?
I have no idea where he's going to be 5 years from now. He'll definitely look a lot older than he does right now, I can promise you, if he stays in college football. But I talk to Cody off and on, usually a good luck text before a game here or there. Or, if they play, we play, he'll say, I watched the game last night, whatever. It's not just Cody, it's Travis Trickett, Brandon Herring, it's Ross Newton, it's Sam Shea, that whole group over there. There's a lot of great guys and good football coaches. That's why they keep winning. And so I stay in contact with those guys a lot. They pull for us each week as we do them. And this week will just be a little different.
But I know Nick wasn't helped out by at least, 3rd quarter back-to-back drops to begin that. But how did you feel Nick played overall in that game?
I was really proud of Nick. That's a tough environment. It's a tough situation that everybody, made a big deal about going into. And he competed as hard last night as he ever has. He was Nick. He fought, he competed, he made plays. A lot of them got called back, or a lot of them didn't get finished. He'll be the first to tell you he should have played better and made more plays and done this and done that. Obviously, we didn't get him as many opportunities as we'd like, but I was proud of the way not only that he competed in a bad situation. Obviously, in the second half, it wasn't looking great. He kept fighting and competing. But the teammate he was, the way he handled himself, the class he had after the game, I'm really proud of not only how he played, but that young man.
Was Duke able to practice tonight?
Duke's coming along nicely. We'll just have to kind of keep taking it day to day.
Do you feel he'll be back Saturday?
I don't know. I'm optimistic always that we can get him back as soon as possible. And I think that literally is just a kind of a day-to-day deal that we just have to keep playing by ear and see how it comes along.
Ray, you talked about Cat kind of being a silent leader, somebody that just kind of does it. Is there anybody on the offense that can rally the troops a little bit that you've seen either this year, maybe not this weekend, but in previous games that has been kind of an emotional spark?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got plenty of guys. I mean, I listed them earlier, you know, from Reese to Nick to CJ to even Quan at times. And Cap and Corey don't say much, but their play usually speaks for itself and the way they carry themselves. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'd like to think that we've still done a lot of productive things. Last night we didn't do many, but as a whole body of work this season we have. And last night was just very disappointing. We didn't get it done, but we're going to move forward and try to build on what we know our strengths are and get better.
Yes.